Here we go, episode 18 of the Loose Lug Nuts podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed that roller coaster ride. And I got to tell you, the only thing with more twists and turns than that roller coaster was the action at the Roval this weekend, which we will be talking all about it this weekend. But before we get into it, let me welcome my co-hosts. Welcome Aaron Simmons, aka Simoleons, and Zachary Brandevold. How are you doing tonight? Let's hit you up first, Zach. You're looking a little tired. Is that job wearing you out? How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I am a little bit tired, but we're getting through it with coffee and energy drinks. But no, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be on a podcast with you guys, back at it, and ready to talk about some of the stuff that we got going on tonight.
All right, Adam Lauer tuning in, giving us a gift of $5. Thank you, Adam.
Hey.
You have been our most loyal viewer and our biggest contributor. Thank you so much, Adam. Greatly appreciated. All right. Not to put the money ahead of friends, but I got to acknowledge Adam because he is kind of a friend and a donor. But now, Simoleons, how are you doing this fine evening?
Doing very well tonight. Kind of like Zach, just a little bit tired today. Had a lot going on as far as schoolwork and homework and trying to get ready for the next semester, as always. And my apologies here. I got a browser open that's playing a lot of music, making it very hard to hear myself. But anyway, I'm very excited to get this podcast going. We've got a lot to talk about tonight in terms of, Charlotte, in terms of just everything going on. So I'm ready to get this podcast underway and to get ready to talk about some racing.
All right, and I want to thank you guys for taking care of me last week when I had some work duties and couldn't make it. And I'm sure you guys enjoyed the break, but now you're back to saying, my back hurts from carrying Tom through these broadcasts, so the vacation is over. I am back and ready for you guys to carry me through the broadcast. So, as always, we start off with the race reviews, and there was no truck race this weekend, but there was Xfinity and Cup, both at the Charlotte Roval, and I get the pleasure of doing the Xfinity race review. And I am just going to tell you, the way I would describe this Xfinity race is sometimes you just look at a race, you look at the field of drivers, and the cream rises to the top. And I felt that's what happened this week at the Roval. A.J. Allmendinger is the regular season champion. He's leading the points in the playoffs. As good as he is in general, he is a road course ringer. So he rose to the top there, grabbed the win at the Roval in an elimination race. He didn't really have to have the win, but he's going to go for the win. He's a road course ringer. That's his specialty. He got the win. One of the things that happened during the weekend that I found interesting, as much as we have been so impressed with Ty Gibbs over the course of this season and how he has acted like a much more experienced driver than he is, we saw a little bit of the 18-year-old come out this weekend. He had brake problems. He couldn't figure out the right balance with the brakes. He was missing turns. I don't know if he was abusing the brakes, if he had the wrong bias in it. I don't know what it was. This was probably the first time, or one of the few times, that I feel like Ty Gibbs has looked like an 18-year-old behind the wheel, which I'm sure, and that's not saying anything derogatory. I think he's an extremely talented guy, but he is 18, and this is one of the few times all year he's actually looked 18. But it was really A.J. Allmendinger's weekend. And I've got to say, Ty Gibbs, not the only one that had brake problems. Justin Allgaier, who is at the opposite end of the spectrum, he is in his 30s. He had brake problems too. So two guys had brake problems. But once again, so impressed with A.J. Allmendinger. And I am just telling you guys, he won at Bristol. He won the regular season championship. He won the Roval. He's got a 5th and a 6th already this season at 2 tracks that are coming up. You can mark my words. He's going to the championship 4. Put him in there. So that's my big prediction as we start the race. But that was the Xfinity race. And if this was a fight, the Xfinity was fun, but it was definitely the undercard. The Cup race was the real deal. So, Simoleons, can you tell us, did anything happen in the Cup race?
You know what? Nothing really too much. It's just your standard, road course race at the Roval. Cars slipping, sliding. Cars trying to take it easy. Possibly some payback for Bristol. It's all just all the regular things. But going into the recap here, this is Charlotte Roval. This is the elimination race for the Cup Series as well as the Xfinity Series on Saturday. And so, of course, there was a lot of pressure already on these Cup drivers. But as we saw, we had a competition caution on lap 10. However, one of the playoff drivers, Christopher Bell, caught speeding on pit road before the competition caution to try and play a little bit of a pit strategy. That plan was thrown out the window because he sped on pit road and pretty much screwed his day up from the get-go. And honestly, if I were to pick a award winner for the worst possible luck for the chase, it's got to go to Christopher Bell, because that dude has not had a good chase all year. But already, I mean, we saw the bus stop in the backstretch come to play here. We saw Brad Keselowski and numerous drivers throughout the day either spin in the bus stop, miss the bus stop completely, and had to stop, or do both. And Brad was one of the victims there. But then we saw, kind of towards the end of stage one here, we saw AJ Allmendinger and Chase Elliott go after that stage because they both wanted it so bad. Chase would ultimately get the stage after passing Allmendinger on the last lap. But then come stage two, that's where pretty much all hell broke loose. We saw Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick get into it kind of right before they get into turn one on the speedway turn one. Whether it's intentional or not, I've looked at the footage. Yeah, that's borderline because Chase kind of came down. Harvick's already on the spot. But I mean, you know what, you pick and you decide. But Chase was not a happy camper. That would come back to later bite Harvick in the ass, as most of you would know if you watched the race. But then we kind of saw Danny Hamlin and Kyle Busch kind of go at it for the second stage. Looked to be the dominant cars of the day. But ultimately, it would result in Kyle Larson kind of get back to his winning ways. But this time, not really in dominant fashion, not really kind of showing out and showing some flashes and showing that dominant car. More or less just kind of just laying back, kind of hanging out, waiting until his time was ready, and he pounced on it even after I believe he had a mechanical failure in the day. I believe like a bad alternator belt or something like that gone bad. Fixed it, came back and won the race, and so Larson with his 7th win on his, I guess, comeback tour in the Cup Series, with Tyler Reddick finishing 2nd, and then Chris Buescher finishing 3rd for Roush Fenway, their best season and their best finish in I think a few weeks. So congratulations to Chris Buescher on his 3rd place, his best finish of the season, might I add.
Yeah, a lot of action, and we got all kinds of viewers tuning in here. We got all kinds of comments coming up. We have Jordan Martin, Suspect Dirt tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Jordan. Mike Hora was here, first guy here. He is tuned in. He's giving us some comments. Adam, who even needs that Tom Phil anyway? Adam, you're not the first person who decided they did not need me around and kicked me to the curb.
Look, Adam.
You're not the first person to say that.
We do. We need Tom here because that stream was kind of a rocky start to get set up. But hey, you know what? Tom basically pulled in from at the last minute to come in and to get everything kind of fixed up and squared away. Oh. But hey, trust me, we need Tom here because this show is not good without that handsome man right there. So
yeah, hey, that line there, who even needs that Tom Phil anyway? Story of my life. If I ever write a book, that's my autobiography right there. Mike Hora getting the baby to sleep. Mike, I gotta ask, was Benadryl involved? I just want to know.
As far as wife concerned, no. The baby just fell asleep on his own. Fell asleep like an angel,
And this week's candidate for I got to say, Adam, I assure you, you are the only one. Yes, it is just you. I promise.
Hey, I'll take it. Thank you for boosting my self-esteem. My ego is going to be out the door here pretty soon.
Oh,
Zach,
Lord, here we go.
Your ego is already out the door.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just making it worse.
You don't need any more.
Don't feed the monster, Adam.
Look, Zach, you already kicked my ass in Heat 5, all right? I don't need your ego to go any higher than what it is currently.
Okay. Sure. You put up a good fight. Come on. Give yourself some credit.
Yeah, but stat sheet says otherwise. But
okay,
anyway.
Speaking of fights, we got to talk about this Chase Elliott Kevin Harvick deal. There's so much going on. Everything from the Chase Elliott comments that have set the internet on fire with the memes, knowing the Harvick season was over, to the intent, was it intentional? Was it not intentional? What happened to Harvick that he wrecked himself? Is this thing over? I don't even know where to begin on this. So, let's start with you. Where do you begin on this?
I mean, you kind of just heard it with my cup breakdown. Personally, I don't think it was intentional. I mean, if you go back and look at the video, Chase was a little bit higher up than Harvick on the preferred line. Chase kind of came down, but then Harvick kind of gassed up as he was coming down and then hit him wrong. And, of course, Chase spun out and got tons of damage. But I don't think it seriously was intentional. Maybe a little bit of both, 50-50. It wasn't really intentional, but Harvick's not going to complain about it. So maybe still holding a little bit of grudge, but I don't think it was pure intention.
Did you see the post-race comments or the comments after the interview? Sure didn't seem like Kevin Harvick was acting like it was unintentional to me. Seemed to me like, based on his comments and the way he was acting, that he pretty much intended to do that.
I unfortunately did not. I did hear Chase's remarks after Harvick did that thing to himself, but
and I got to say, Harvick is no dummy. He's 44 years old. This isn't his first rodeo. This isn't his first rivalry. He knows how to wreck somebody while leaving enough doubt that he wouldn't get suspended or fined too heavily. So I think that was a veteran doing what a veteran does. Zach, you settle this debate. Was it intentional or not?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to watch. I only watched a clip of it because it wasn't showing. But that's a different story. I think it might have been a little bit of payback. And it definitely could have been maybe a little bit more subtle, but at the same time, I think this is the type of situation where you let him settle it on the track, and I definitely think it was a little bit intentional.
A little bit intentional. Is that like being a little bit pregnant?
I mean, yeah. I said,
I'm saying it was intentional.
I didn't get to watch it, but based off of last week and what happened at Bristol, I think it definitely was intentional. But
what do you make of Kevin Harvick's comments? Sometimes real life teaches you lessons.
I think that was the stupidest comment.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what to make of that. But at the opposite end of the microphone is Chase Elliott saying, I want to wish them a happy Christmas and a merry off season. That's twisting the knife in. That's your season is over, and I'm competing for a championship, and I'm just going to twist that knife.
Yep.
Chase definitely won the battle on Sunday, but here's the thing: the war isn't officially over yet. There's still a few more races left in the season, and there's plenty more opportunities within each race for Harvick to say, you're still in chase and I'm not, but I can certainly take you out of the chase at any point that I choose.
Yeah, well, let's go. Is this over? To me, if you feel like there was a payback owed and you're Harvick, that was your payback, okay? But you can't sit here and say, I'm going to wreck the guy 5 times because he made me mad once. I don't think NASCAR's not going to tolerate it. I don't think it's going to. But so is this over? Is it not over? What do you guys think?
Arguably, you could say that Harvick would still be in the playoffs right now because he more than likely would have won that Bristol race had Chase Elliott not interfered. So Chase Elliott essentially cost him a chance at moving on to the next round. I mean, he had a shot with the Charlotte Roval, but obviously anything can happen on the racetrack. And as we saw, you mess up, you're in the wall. So I think that Harvick may look at this and say, yeah, you cost me a shot. You don't deserve to move on. And maybe he pays him back more. But, we'll just have to see.
I think NASCAR's had all they're going to tolerate from Harvick. I think anything else, and he's going to find himself heavily fined or suspended or something, because I think they're going to say settling it is one thing, but they put a lot of effort into hyping these playoffs, and now you get a non-playoff driver going out intentionally wrecking somebody not once but twice that is in the playoffs. I think that's going to be more than what NASCAR is going to tolerate. What do you think, Simoleons?
But here's the thing: how many times have we seen that in the playoffs already? I mean, you saw in the first iteration of this playoff system, you had Ryan Newman basically dumping Kyle Larson at Phoenix to move on to the Final Four. Of course, you saw the Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano incidents. I mean, countless times we've seen drivers basically wrecking each other to move on and to move on into the next set of playoffs.
And we've seen
that. Does that make it right, though?
No, it absolutely does not make it right. But that's what they have to do to move on and to maybe gain, some more sponsorships or to secure contracts or to, just or for their own personal growth. I mean, you have a shot to win in a race. Screw playoffs at that instant. I'm looking to win a race.
Let's not forget, Kevin Harvick has a history of wrecking people to not advance. He wrecked Chase Elliott thinking that they were at the cut line and that was going to make him in. Last year, he wrecked Kyle Busch at Martinsville to try to get ahead of him to get that last point that he needed. So he's 0 for 2 wrecking people trying to advance.
But I will say with the Kyle Busch thing, he had to. Otherwise, he would not have moved in. With Chase Elliott thing, he still had another race to lock himself in on points. He didn't necessarily have to wreck him, but
he kind of did. He kind of did, because Elliott had a way faster car, and that was a cutoff race, and he wasn't going to make it. He was the odd man out
because of what happened at Bristol.
Yeah. Hey, let's get back to the comments from the viewers real quick. Going back to a little bit intentional or a little bit pregnant. Adam Lauer says, I'm a little bit divorced then. Adam, I'm kind of there with you, except I'm a lot divorced and don't even want to go back to a little bit divorced, but that's a different story. So we could spend a whole show talking about this. There's so many aspects of it, and I don't think there's any aspect of it that all three of us would agree on, which kind of makes it even more interesting. But just to add fuel to the fire, what about Kyle Busch? And I don't know if you guys saw his post-race interview, but his comment was the 4 was basically running over everybody, and he may get wrecked by a car that's not number 9.
Well, listen, the last guy that should be talking about anybody running people over for a championship is Kyle Busch. He's the last guy to be talking about that.
Yeah, 100% agree. He does not deserve to be talking about running people over.
Okay, wait a minute, back up. I go the opposite way, okay? How bad or aggressive or how many people do you have to knock out of the way to get Kyle Busch to say you're over the line? I mean,
man, I think he's just happy to shift the blame to somebody else. He's been taking this shit for so long that he's just happy somebody else is more angry at another driver. He used to take all the hate, but yeah, I think he enjoys the little get back at it, getting back at these other drivers. He just loves his drama, and I think he was trying to poke a little bit of fun there. But Harvick has been a little bit more aggressive recently, and I think that just has to do with the fact of their car performance, SHR performance as a whole. They aren't the team that they were a year ago, and in that aspect, they have to push more. They have to capitalize on these opportunities, capitalize on the Bristol run, capitalize on every little increment of speed that they can get out of that car when he normally doesn't have to do that. So yeah, he's going to be more aggressive. He wants to stay in the playoffs. He wants to try and make the Final Four, when I don't really think that was necessarily a realistic option for them.
Still there, Samuel injured, everybody free. Zach froze.
Yeah, you guys have been lagging for me pretty much all night.
You guys got me? I'm not lagging at all.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, gotcha.
I was just saying that I don't necessarily think that was necessarily a realistic goal for them to get back in the championship based on their speed. So of course he's going to be a little bit more desperate this season. So that's just my thought on it.
So,
and plus, I mean, you got to think. I'm going back to Bristol Racing, Tom. I'm sorry, I'll let you get back to it. But that was basically his best shot at a win all year. I mean, yeah, like we're going back to this season. SHR as a whole has been just been in the toilet all year, and all of a sudden Kevin Harvick has found this speed at Bristol, which was usually one of his good to decent tracks, and has a shot for a win. Also just tossed on the wayside, but just by this quote unquote young gun who has some notoriety to his name, and so yeah. I mean, if I were Harvick, I'd be a little pissed too, but I still don't think the move was intentionally intentional, like Adam said, it was unintentionally intentional. The man not how he wanted it to go, but he won't argue with it.
So getting back to a couple of comments here, and I'm loving the fact that I have so many comments I can't keep up with them. Whitney Allison is tuning in, saying she's reporting for duty and Harvick does his thing. Whitney, are you a new viewer? I don't remember seeing comments from you before, but thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Whitney, welcome to the show.
And Whitney, we're together. He swerves at people with just too blatant. We're together. Great minds. We think alike, Whitney. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We have Sav here saying, why am I here?
On drugs again.
Yeah.
Yep, on drugs.
Sav, listen, we're just happy you know where you're at, okay? We're not setting the bar very high for saying why. We're just happy you know where you're at.
You're here, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys that are tuning in, give us some feedback. I am hearing that I might be lagging on people's screens. What is the quality of the stream like? Are we doing okay here, or are we having some playback issues for you guys? But while you guys are doing that, we could talk about the Harvick Chase Elliott thing all night. We could talk about it till we have a rivalry amongst ourselves. But let's move on to the news story. Zach, what you got in the news?
Yeah, I was going to move right along to Starcom Racing. Apparently is maybe going to continue for next season. There was a previous tweet by an employee. I believe there was like the head engineer or head of the shop for Starcom Racing, said that they were going to shut down after the Phoenix race. But now they just came out, and that tweet has since been deleted. They came out that Kaz Gralla was going to test their new gen car, which they built and brought to the Charlotte Roval test these past 2 days and have actually tested. So it looks like they're maybe going to hang around a little bit sooner. There was rumor that their charter was going to be sold, but that obviously hasn't. No more recent news has come out about that. So it's looking more and more likely that they're going to continue for next season and run a full-time effort. So my question is, will they run a full-time season next season? And if so, who will be driving for them? So any of you guys have any thoughts about this?
My only thought is that Starcom Racing may be sticking around, but the engineer that made that tweet didn't.
No, definitely not.
No.
I mean, go ahead. Anything else? I was just going to say something.
I have no idea who they would pick up to drive. I really don't.
Honestly, I hate, and trust me when I say this, I hate to make this assumption because he does not deserve this. But if Matt DiBenedetto wants to stay in the Cup Series, that may be his only option.
Yeah.
And trust me, it hurts my soul as much as yours, Zach. It hurts to say that. But I mean, what else is left out there? What else is left?
A life of
pain and misery. That's what it's going to be.
Anything.
A life of pain
anything
and
other than that. I don't know.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it because I was afraid Zach's head would explode.
I know, Zach. Trust me.
Really
It
stressing me out
hurts
now.
my soul. It hurts
there's so many good cars available still. The 38. Rick Ware Racing. Apparently that was rumored. Oh, Lord, please not
Zach,
Starcom.
Stop.
Okay, let's stop there.
Yeah.
Let's stop there. Let's
Anyway,
go to the next news story and not torture Zach with this.
Yeah, so 2311 apparently secured a charter and a crew chief for their second car and have waited to announce them until the season's over. Who do you guys think that it will be, and who do you think they got their charter from?
We lost Zach.
Oh.
I have no idea on the crew chief. I am guessing with a veteran like Kurt Busch, they're going to go with a veteran crew chief as well. As far as who they got the charter from, I haven't been keeping up with the charters, so I am at a loss. Viewers, who do you think the crew chief will be? Who do you think they're going to get their charter from? I am really not sure.
Yeah,
Zach, who do you think, Zach?
Well, I think their charter is probably going to come from maybe the Petty Ware charter from Rick Ware Racing. Rick Ware Racing recently, I don't know if you guys knew this, signed an alliance agreement with SHR for next season. And they mentioned that they're really only planning on having 2 full-time teams, maybe 3, depending on sponsorship. So definitely they're going to be paring down. They're not going to be running 4 cars. So that obviously is a way they could go. And then as far as the crew chief, there's a lot of good options. I mean, I think they would want to work with somebody who's maybe a veteran or maybe somebody new. But I think Matt McCall is a good option also, as well as there's somebody else that he worked with at SHR.
I believe that'll be Billy Scott.
Yes, Billy Scott. Those are the 2 that were mentioned, and I think those would be great additions because they just kind of make sense. He has. I was also going to say Booty as well, but who knows? We'll see, and I'm looking forward to it because it definitely will kind of reshape the landscape of how many cars are out there. We still have the 38. And we still have some Rick Ware Racing cars that are available, open seats. So it really just kind of those are the last dominoes to fall.
Yeah. Zach, I think Adam has a man crush on you. That's all I can think. The only thing I could think of, and this is far-fetched, and I have no reason to believe it to be true other than the fact that he's experienced, is what about Todd Gordon, who's been Ryan Blaney's crew chief and says he's retiring? Are they going to talk him out of retirement and get him to come in with Kurt Busch? Just by the fact that he is an established veteran crew chief, and that's what I think they will go with, and the fact that he's not going to be working next year is the only logic I have behind that, which is very flimsy logic, but that's the only name that I can come up with.
Really quick, did Todd Gordon work with Kurt Busch when he drove the 22?
I do not know.
I think he did. Hang on.
You go to the next story, and I will try to look that up.
Well, that was all of the news that I had. I mean, the last story that we kind of took out, I mean, while we have a little bit of time, is Team Hatzberg, which is a foreign team, Dutch team, has teamed up. They race in the NASCAR Euro Series. They have started a team that is going to be competing in select races for the 2022 season. I believe it's going to be mainly road courses. They already built their next-gen car. They're testing it right now. It's pretty cool to see. The 27 is back. So it doesn't just belong to Paul Menard anymore. But yeah, they're going to be, I mean, as far as I can remember, they're going to be the first internationally owned team, at least in a while. And potentially, I mean, I know they have some good road course ringers with the quality that the new gen car brings. They might be successful on the road courses. We might see them get a win. So we might see a international team for the first time win in a while, if not ever. I can't really remember. I know the statistics go way back, so I'm not really for sure, but that would be awesome to see. And it's good to see some international people get involved and own teams and put, international drivers in those seats as well. So that's just mine. Jag Villeneuve. Oh my gosh, Formula One champ, I believe, or no, was it Formula One? I think, yeah, Formula One winner. Has been testing the car. So it's pretty cool that they're getting all these kind of non-NASCAR foreign drivers in the sport.
Okay, going back to Todd Gordon, the only time I can find a link between he and Kurt Busch was way back when Kurt Busch drove in the Xfinity series, which I think was actually called the Busch series then. But so at least they do have some history together.
Right.
Yeah, but one race. That was it.
Was it one race?
Yep, one race.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I have no logic here. So
it's better than 0 races.
Yeah,
better than 0. I mean, granted,
I love that.
I mean, granted,
I
he
do
just
want
won the pole,
Montoya
won
back.
the race, but still, that was it.
Oh, JPM,
Yeah.
Juan Pablo Montoya. That could be interesting. Okay, let's get into who's hot, who's not.
Yes.
So, Zach, let's go with you first.
I'm right up. Okay. So I'm actually doing who's not and who's notter. Sorry for that. But I didn't really,
Already breaking the mold, Zach. How dare you?
Yeah. Hey, Tom did who's hot and who's hotter. So I'm doing who's not and who's notter.
Fair enough.
For me,
Okay. At least hot and hotter are words.
You know what?
Notter is not a word.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. It's a word in my mind. So for who's not, I'm going to say William Byron and Hendrick Motorsports as a whole. 2 of their teams got knocked out. I mean, they were one of the most dominant teams on the season. At one point, Alex Bowman had the most wins out of the entire Cup Series with 3. And I really thought that one of those, either Alex Bowman or William Byron, were going to break out this season, which in a way they did, but they really didn't make it past the second round, which sucks because they really had the speed. I think it was just a matter of that second round with all those tracks, that just wasn't their specialty, and all the wrecks really hurt them, so they got really behind the 8 ball. But Byron, he had the speed to win, and then I believe he blew a corner, or somebody ran him and he had to stop, if I'm not mistaken. Ran him off the track and he had to stop and go. So that was just really disappointing for him because he seemed really fast, and I think that he was the car to beat for most of the day. So anyway, as far as who's not, I'm going to say the next gen schemes, and I don't know, Tom, do you have the pictures that I sent you or no?
Yep. Here we go.
So yeah, these are ugly.
Make this a little bigger.
I'm so sorry that you have to see this. If this is what we are going to have to deal with for next season, I'm going to be very sad. I mean, it makes sense if you have the sponsor like that all the way across the back, but you got to make it bigger. You got to make it bigger. You got to make it flow correctly. The 17 is too big. It's really ugly. There are some next gen cars, I will say, that look great, but some of these are just absolutely terrible. The 42 is an example. A lot of people like that scheme because they isolated the number, but everything else is in white. And I'm sorry, that just didn't look good. It looked way too boxy and idiotic, in my opinion. And then I don't know if you have the next one. Yeah, look at this. So
that one looks good, though.
That one doesn't look bad to me.
Hold on.
Yeah, that one doesn't look bad.
I just want to point this out. We moved the numbers forward because they want more space, right? And then they leave all of that back corner panel space wide open. At least put the gutter protection down there or something. Anything, please.
Make
it bigger. Make it bigger. That's all I'm asking. Make it bigger.
They need to put a sign right here that says "This space for rent."
Honestly, just.
I mean, also, if you go back to the 17 scheme, if you kind of look towards the bottom of the side panel there, all that room is free.
Yeah,
all of it.
All of that, and that's what they were trying to get. That's mostly where the number was.
That's the main purpose of why they moved the numbers forward to begin with, and then now they're not using it.
Your name here. That's
it
what
bigger.
they
You can make
right
the
there.
fifth third bank like expand it on that back quarter panel, and then expand and make the font bigger. It's just a matter of changing the font size.
Yeah, yes, Whitney. Unfortunately, this is real.
That is a real picture. And if you go on to the NASCAR YouTube page, you will see that car out on the track, and it's pure abomination. Is what it
There's
is.
some more, like the Kyle Larson scheme that has the 5 all the way where the 17 is, and then also has a big giant Chevy bow tie over the right rear corner panel that cuts out half the logo. Just absolutely crazy. I'm really hoping that they get better. I liked Reddick's scheme, and I liked Bubba Wallace's scheme. Those were the two schemes that I really liked.
Yeah, they were fine. At least they had like something like going on in the scheme itself. Correctly. Yes, but that is just no. That's just 100 pounds of no, but a 10-pound bag.
Yeah, I hope it gets better, but that's my who's not and who's not.
Oh, Adam, I feel you. Adam, all I have to say is this. You know why divorce is... Wait a minute. I got to be in the stream for this. Adam, let me tell you something. I've been there. You know why divorces are so expensive? Because they're worth it. That's all I have to say.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
So, going back to the William Byron comment, yeah, he got pushed through one of the chicanes, I think, and that's why he had to stop. But yeah, he absolutely got pushed. He had the car to beat, and he was marching down pit road looking for Tyler Reddick at the end of it.
Yes, thank
you. Because he absolutely had the car to beat and just got pushed through the chicane.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
God. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so we're off track now. Simoleons, who you got for who's hot and who is not?
Alrighty, so going back to who's hot and who is not. Who's hot this week? I got to give it to Chris Buescher, and honestly, just that Roush Fenway team this year and also the last few years have been abysmal for him. But Chris Buescher looks to be kind of like a good stepping stone towards that team. His finishes this year haven't been great, but they haven't been total embarrassments either. He's had some decent finishes. But this week, it's probably his best finish of the season at third place at a tough track like the Roval. And so I got to give the who's hot this week to Chris Buescher and that team. Awesome job, guys. Congratulations. And then for who's not this week, it's our old friend from a few weeks ago. The Curbs are back.
The Curbs.
For some reason, in NASCAR's infinite drunken wisdom, they decided to place more curves before that back straightaway bus stop, and then an Xfinity car once again found a way to just hit that curb at just the right angle to where that front end was just essentially torn off of that car, and apparently it just destroyed the curb, which had to bring out a red flag to get it taken off. Which also led to the entire track just taking out those series of unneeded curbs at that bus stop chicane. Giving every fan the question as to why the hell were they there to begin with. It doesn't make sense. You already have the blue turtles there, which are already a nightmare for cars to go over anyway. We've seen that, clear as day for every single track that they're at, especially at the Roval. And so why bother to go down and just screw in more curves at that spot? It doesn't make a lick of sense to me. But then again, I'm not a driver. I don't make tracks, so there's just some guy in here arguing. But still, I mean that just is it's just another bad look for NASCAR. And so for who's not, I'm going Curbs again.
Hey, it's not just every fan asking this. I think in the broadcast didn't Jeff Burton say the same thing? Like, why do we even have him there?
He probably did. I don't remember that scene. Yeah. I don't remember that exactly, but knowing Jeff Burton, he probably did. I mean, man, why?
So, okay. I guess it's up to me for who's hot, who's not. So I am using proper English, not who's notter.
I don't want to hear it.
But who's hot? I am going with the Dinger. Yeah,
Oh,
look at where we are with AJ Allmendinger, and I know I am biased because I'm a big fan of him and Colleague Racing. But he won Bristol. He won the regular season championship. He won at the Roval, even though he didn't need to win to advance. We are coming up on Kansas, Texas, and Martinsville, where he has got from earlier in the year a 6th and a 7th place finish. So I think this really favors him, and I think he's got a 36-point cushion, so he could probably point his way in. But I am saying AJ Allmendinger is hot right now. Mark my words, he's going to punch his ticket to the Final Four. He's going to be one of those guys racing for that championship at Phoenix. So he is my who is hot. Okay?
Absolutely.
For who is not, I can't believe nobody picked this. Kevin Harvick. Seriously?
I saw you picked it, but then I decided not to go with it this way because I thought, hey, if I go first or second, before you, I'm going to call for, damn, Smalley, stole mine again. And so I let you have Kevin Harvick this week.
Thank you. I appreciate the gift. That's like Christmas coming early. Seriously, you wrecked yourself.
Yeah.
You wrecked yourself.
I mean, Harvick, you are a veteran NASCAR.
This is the ultimate, the guy's living in my head rent-free when he doesn't even have to touch you and you wreck yourself. That was the ultimate psych job. And it's not like Harvick is some 18-year-old rookie who's still learning what a gear shifter does. I mean, yeah, Harvick is my who's not for this week.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty obvious.
For a guy whose career started out as replacing the Intimidator, the man in black, the black number 3 himself, the driver who every driver has feared and respected, he gets intimidated by a 20-year-old. How? Just how? Golly.
I think it was the beard. Beards are intimidating. I think it was the Chase Elliott beard.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
yeah, but that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, that's not.
I left it for you, Tom, because I knew you were going to be so passionate about it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, we are up to green flag, red flags.
All righty. Gentlemen, 3 questions for this week, and fans, please be sure to let us know how you agree on these 3 questions by typing green flag or red flag and your responses. So please do that along with us. So for question number 1, with Kyle Larson winning his 7th race of the season, does he reclaim his spot as the championship favorite? Zach, we'll start with you.
I mean, yeah. I think this round was a little, I don't know. This is a hard one. I'm going to say green flag. Yeah. I think this is going to give him good momentum into the next round. This set of these past 2 sets have been, at least this past one round, second round, sorry, was a little bit abnormal tracks. You got the super speedway, you got the road course, and you got Bristol. And we're going to see more intermediate and kind of Richmond style tracks coming up, especially at Phoenix. So, I think this will give him good momentum, kind of where Hendrick has started to dominate and dominated this whole season. So I'm going to say green flag for sure.
I got to say, I love this Mike Hora comment. Harvick is McQueen at the end of Cars 3. I have kids. I have seen Cars so many times, but I love that comment.
Honestly, Mike, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
All right, you want me to go on this one, Simoleons? Or do you want to go next? Okay. I am going with this question as it is written, okay?
Okay.
And I am saying red flag, okay? He did not reclaim anything. He's won 7 races. He's raced up front everyone. He never relinquished the title of championship favorite, okay? I don't care if Denny Hamlin finally got to victory lane after 26 races and all this. start from the middle of the season on, Larson has been the favorite. He has been the dominant driver. I don't think he ever relinquished that title. So I'm saying red flag. He didn't reclaim it because he never relinquished it. There we go.
And that is why I had it in quotation marks. I'm going to go red flag here. I think Larson is still the top dog for the championship this year. Although Hamlin has made it uncomfortably close, I think, for the 5 team. Of course, he's starting to win races now. He's up front. He's leading laps. He's starting to get stage wins as he usually does throughout the season this year. But I still think Larson is going to be the car to win the championship this year. So I'll say a red flag. He did not reclaim anything.
You can't.
He's still the favorite.
You can't say that Hamlin didn't give you guys any scares after, and as well as.
I'm not saying that Hamlin hasn't really done anything. He's gotten to where Larson has been in the summer. He's gotten to that point, but Larson hasn't really kind of been there.
Yeah, but Larson hasn't really shown the dominance that he has had in the playoffs as much as he did in the regular season. And the first round is really a big indication as to who might be successful, especially at Phoenix. Not really Darlington, but Richmond and what was the other track? I'm drawing a blank.
What we got? Texas, Kansas, and Martinsville coming up before Phoenix.
Well, anyway, that was Richmond is a good indication. Las Vegas, all those tracks are a good indication, and he really hadn't shown that kind of dominance. So I think other people kind of caught up, maybe not overtaken, but I think Hamlin maybe had drawn even, in my opinion, as an equal shot, but. That's just my opinion.
Okay. All right, fans, what do you think? I'm seeing Adam Lauer here with thanks, Tom, and green, all in capital letters. So I definitely agree.
Adam, let me tell you something. Since you're going through this whole nasty thing with the ex-wife or whatever, Denny Hamlin, since his breakup with whatever her name is, Jordan Fish, I think he's had one finish outside the top 5. Compare that to where he was before. At one point after they broke up, he had an average finish of 2.5. So there you go. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction.
Sounds
all right,
like
get us back on track, Simoleons.
All right, going back on track. Green flag, red flag number 2 of the night. Starcom Racing has a better chance of having multiple drivers in the championship 4 than Junior Motorsports. Green flag or red flag? Tom, we'll start with you.
I'm going to say red flag. I think AJ Allmendinger makes it. I don't think Justin Haley does. I think with Justin Allgaier and Noah Gragson there, I think that I just think Junior Motorsports has a couple of drivers that are a little bit more well-rounded. I think Justin Haley is learned a lot from AJ Allmendinger on road courses, and he is a beast on the super speedways, but we don't have any of those coming up in the next round. So I am going to say that I think Allgaier and Gragson make it along with Allmendinger, but I don't think Justin Haley makes it. So I am saying that would make it red flag, right? Red flag. Yeah, I'm saying red flag.
I'm going to say green flag just because I don't like you, Tom. You've been against me the entire time.
Zach, most people don't. I got to say, you can stand at the end of the very long line of rear people that don't like me. So,
anyway, no. In all reality, I mean, I think Allmendinger's a lock, and I think Justin Haley has really come into his own, and we've seen some better results out of him in some of these different types of tracks. And I think it's a real possibility that he can make it, especially with how well Kaulig has been doing over the past couple of weeks. I mean, they've been a really strong team. If you were talking about maybe, any other team rather than Junior Motorsports, I just don't trust Gragson right now. Allgaier has the experience and he has the speed. And Gregson has really been hot and cold. You know, he's either really hot and on fire and probably going to win, or he's wrecking out. So, you know, I do think Colleague might have a better chance. So I'm going to say green flag.
I'm going to say green flag. I think that Colleague's going to have two cars in, but I think Gregson is going to be the one to get knocked out here. Allgaier has been very consistent the last few weeks. Gregson has been very hit or miss. But I'm kind of looking at Haley's stats here. Of course, we'll have stats for Kansas or Texas this year, as well as Martinsville this year, since I believe those are the three tracks that they have not gone to this season. But I'm looking at Haley's stats here from the last time they visited Kansas. Haley got a 4th place, and Haley got a 7th place at Texas at the last time, back in October, about a year ago today. And looking at Gregson's, he won Kansas, but dead last at Texas, and it says here that he was running. So it wasn't like Gregson was caught in an accident. He was running and got nearly dead last. I know I should finish. Okay, hold on. Actually, scratch that. 36th place at Kansas, and 2nd place at Texas. So either way, Zach, I can see you smiling there. Shut up. But anyway, Gregson has not been very consistent this year. He's getting hot at the right time, but I don't think it's going to translate. So I'm going Justin Haley. And so let's see, who do we got? Our fans, what do you think? Adam Lauer says we got a big old green flag. So he is agreeing with the rest of us here, going green flag, all except for you, Tom. He's going against you here.
You know, that's what's great about America. We don't all have to agree.
That is true. That's true.
I am perfectly fine with being right and the rest of you all being wrong.
All right, but hey, only one way to know. Only one way to know, and that is time. But all right, gentlemen, for your last question of the evening. A Penske driver makes the championship 4. Who? All right, so currently we got Blaney in only by 1 point, and then we got Logano and Keselowski out right now. Logano being 11 points out, and Keselowski being 16 points out. Zach, what do you think?
Zach, you're muted. We can't hear you. Can you hear him, Smoleans?
Nope. There we go.
Can you hear me better?
Yep, there we go.
I said I'm going to say green flag because the odds are in their favor. I mean, if three Penske cars get knocked out, that's going to be pretty interesting, to say the least. I would say Blaney, just because he has seems to have a lot more speed, but it could be Logano, one of those two. Brad Keselowski, I don't think can make it without a win. And frankly, with the way Penske has been performing, I just don't see him getting a win. But kind of throughout this entire playoffs, we've seen that they haven't really been talked about very much, but they made it. You know what I mean? Like they didn't win this round and any of these races. I don't believe they won last round, right? Either, but they've made it through each round, kind of quietly, and no one's really talked about them. Nobody's really paid him attention. It's all Joe Gibbs or Hendrick, and I think, like I said, the odds are in their favor that somebody makes it, and my guess is Blaney, just because of his consistency and his finishes this season. So I'm going to say green flag.
All right, we got a new viewer. Sit Down Marks Wrestling Podcast said 12 guests. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Zach, you're kind of this on the fence. 12, I think. Yeah, odds are in it. Okay. Now, let me explain it to you. Okay.
You're a Blaney fan, so
This is a green flag. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is a green flag. There is no doubt about it. Ryan Blaney is going to the championship 4. And I'll tell you what else. I'll let you in on a secret. He's going to punch his ticket this weekend. Okay. We are going to Texas. The last 3 Texas races, Mr. Blaney, 8th, 7th, and 4th place, and 5th place at the All-Star race. And we all know that he has gotten much better than he was last year as a driver. He's gotten a lot more speed out of the car. He's been able to bring home good finishes. Yes, Blaney makes it, and he punches his ticket this weekend. You heard it here first.
Man, this guy is going cuckoo.
Now, Tom, are you willing to make a bet on that?
I'll make a bet that Blaney makes it. I'm not going to go all in because the odds are there's 40 guys racing. I get 1, you get the other 39. I don't know about that bet. That's kind of a sucker bet if you ask me. That he wins, but I'm going to say that he makes it into the championship 4.
So, do we know what the package is for this weekend at Texas?
Not the same as the All-Star race. I know that it's not.
It's not okay. Thank God, because that one was terrible. Yeah,
I'm going to say thank God.
Yeah, honestly, because honestly with that package, I don't think a Ford wins it. Maybe with this package, I think.
And we have our next candidate for drug testing.
Yeah. All right. Please
for
see.
Joey Gate's a Final Four. Jesus.
Please see a therapist, please. So,
the problem is, look. The problem is Zach isn't old enough to shave. Okay, that's not a fair bet.
Fuck off.
I think I hit a nerve.
I think you did too. But all right, let's see.
All right. So, Simoleons, have you weighed in here? Have you given us a
I have not. I've been sitting back and playing devil's advocate.
He's just back there fanning the flames. And the thing is, you see what he's doing, Zach? We actually had the same answer here. And Simoleons has still got us butting heads, even though we got the same answer.
I know. Yeah.
That's why I love this. That's why I love this podcast. I get to do that. So, but anyway, I gotta go green flag. I mean, even though Penske's has not really been talked about, I mean, they are still going to 3 tracks that definitely suit them. I mean, Texas definitely suits them. Martinsville definitely suits them, with Joey Logano basically being the new ringer there ever since Gordon and Johnson have kind of left the field. And so I definitely think that somehow, some way, Penske is going to get a driver into the Final Four.
Okay. So we all agree on that one. We can't make a bet because we all agree.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But we still can make that bet on Blaney winning this weekend.
You know, you guys have to put up a lot because you got 39 drivers, I get 1. So, okay, so next segment is preview next week race. I've already told you guys what's going to happen. So tell me what you guys think is going to happen, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, I think Blaney's going to win it by a mile. That's my prediction. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. You said you were going to tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I didn't expect you to actually say something, in agreement with me.
That's no, Tommy. Go ahead. Explain exactly why he's wrong.
I'm going to say wins it by a half mile. That's where you're wrong.
Okay, sure.
They're running the 550 horsepower package this weekend.
I think that's what they ran for the All-Star race, is it not?
Oh God, I hope not.
I really think it is. Oh. We got to figure that out.
No. I'm figuring that out right now.
Okay.
I really hope that that's not the case because this race is going to be so boring. And I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, preview next race. Let's hope to God it's not not the package they used at the All-Star race. I don't care if it's any other package besides that, but it doesn't need to be the one they used at the All-Star race. What was I gonna say? Next week race. Man, let's see. It's probably gonna be horsepower track, so I'm gonna say Chevy wins it. More than likely, Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott, in my opinion. But I could see a Ford winning, like Blaney or Logano, and I think that would be crucial for them to be able to make it in the Final Four if they do win it. I think they're gonna need a win. So. This could be a make or break weekend. I think we might see some interesting wrecks because it's such a big track and the bottom is so dominant. We might see some wrecks, some big wrecks, maybe some playoff teams get knocked out early. But again, who knows? Because I'm not a fortune teller. But that is what I think happens.
Wow, Adam Lauer saying Blaney's engine blows on lap 7. Oh.
Damn, like, okay, Adam, what side are you on here? Because it seems like you're with Tom half the time, and then you're just going straight against him, man. I mean, just, dude, pick a side. Don't be a double agent.
And he says his picks have never been wrong. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Adam, you have to report to the principal's office after this podcast.
Absolutely, man. You're in deep trouble, young man. But, gentlemen, I have some very, very unfortunate news.
What's that?
I knew it.
It is a 550 horsepower. They ran the All-Star race.
Ooh.
Well.
So if folks get a book to read, because it's going to be a hell of a boring race.
Oh,
damn it.
That is going to be – I'm honestly very disappointed to hear that. I'm hoping for the best, but that is annoying. I think now Ford has a realistic shot at winning.
Mike Hoare is saying RCR pulls off something magical off. I think it means Reddick wins, Dillon second in a photo finish.
I can see Reddick because the last 2 times he's been. I'm sorry?
Isn't that what happened last year at Texas? Reddick
finished second last year in the July race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other way around.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see Reddick doing well there, but I think next week's going to be all Joe Gibbs. I mean, Hamlin's been strong there. Harvick, he's been strong there too, but under the 550 horsepower, yeah, not too much. But who knows? But I think it will either be Denny Hamlin or possibly Kyle Busch winning it. But that's it for me. But honestly, God, Sunday's going to be fucking boring. God damn it.
Hey, let's hope we're wrong.
Let's keep moving. Let's go on. White flag, chance for everybody to make a parting comment. All right. Anybody want to go first, or should I take it over?
You take it over.
You take it over, Tom.
All right. I've got a rant this week, and this is something that's bothered me for a long time. And I'm sure that the way this whole show has gone, you're not surprised that I'm ending with a rant. Okay?
What? No. Why'd you say that?
Yeah. I am so sick of the NASCAR fans and their hatred for second-generation drivers. We hate the Dillons because we say they're Richard Childress's grandson. We hate Chase Elliott because we say he was handed everything as Bill Elliott's son. You know, we hate these guys that are second-generation drivers. Guys, what have you got against family traditions? What have you got against fathers and sons spending time together and sons learning from their fathers? What have you got against people that you're hating for something they have no control over? They didn't get to pick what family they were born into, okay? That's this close to hating somebody because of the color of their skin. Because in both cases, you're hating somebody over something they had nothing to control, no control over. And oh, by the way, you're not even consistent about it, because guess what? You all love Dale Jr. because his dad was a great race car driver. It's completely wrong. Each person is an individual. Make up your mind whether you like them or don't like them based on the merits of their own character and stop hating people just because they had the good fortune of being born to having a dad who raced. Admit it, every one of you would love to have had a dad who raced cars and taught you how to build and race cars. So stop hating people because of the family they were born into and things that they can't control. Rant over.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Yes. You want to go first, Aaron?
Yeah, I'll go. Also, I just want to point out that Tom Freeman, I do see your comment over there, Manufactured Pack Racing. That's exactly what it is. And you know what? You cannot change my mind about it. But anyway.
Hold on, let me find it. I'll put it up there. Keep going, I'll find it.
Yeah, well, anyway. I just got to say, I'm a diehard UT fan, and so far this season has given me cautious optimism for a team for the first time since 2016. It's nice to see them back again, but I just got to say, man, I don't know. I mean, we're welcoming back an old coach that we've had back in 2009 who will not be named. We hate him that much. But Neyland Stadium has decided at the 11th hour to checkerboard Neyland Stadium, which is to have like fans in orange t-shirts and some fans in white t-shirts, and sit them as in like a checkerboard around the stadium, and it looks awesome. It's a total gimmick, but it looks awesome. And so I think that is a cool way to kind of bring back an old hated coach who ran off on us, who again will not be named.
Oh, is that who we were talking about earlier?
Yes, it was.
Nice.
Okay. How about Mike Hoare with the random comment about owning a Jeep?
Summer Fincher, when you fall in love with your kidnapper.
Love the comment. I have no idea how it's related to anything we discussed, but I love the comment.
I mean, here's the thing. My mom wants to get a Jeep, and okay. I don't know why, but okay. I'm trying
Jeeps
to talk around it, but they're fun, but they are.
I was in a Jeep that rolled over once, and it was still fun. I wasn't driving, not my Jeep.
So Tom, we may want to get you into a mental institution or something because you may have Stockholm syndrome.
All right, Zach, what's your party comment?
What do you got?
I've been trying to think. I want to show you the 5 scheme because that's ugly as hell.
I mean, yeah, okay, that one's not bad though. It's not terrible.
Can it focus? I don't know if it's focusing.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, we got it.
That one's ugly. Let's see. Okay, so apparently Matt Collig was on a talk show in Cleveland, and he said that they're going to be leasing one of their charters for the Cup Series. But he said he was going to run both cars for his team in Cup. So I guess the second one is going to be like a part-time, non-chartered car that has a rotating driver schedule. But apparently they're going to be running 3 cars for sure in Xfinity. Right now, AJ Allmendinger is confirmed, and Daniel Hemrick is going to be in the other one. And I'm wondering who's going to actually end up in the third car if it's confirmed that they are, since it is, I mean, coming from the man itself, that they are going to be running 3 cars. Who's the best option, and what's the driver market look like? I don't know. I really don't know. But
Matt Collig, if you ever hear this podcast, please take Matt DiBenedetto. Please do not let him go. Please do not let him fall to Starcom or Ripway Racing. Please no. Please get DiBenedetto.
Yeah.
Please, oh my God, get him.
I would think Matt DiBenedetto makes sense. I don't know where
it would make sense.
Myatt Snyder is going to go. He brings a little bit of funding. So maybe he goes there. But, like I said, I would love to see Matt in a top tier Xfinity Series ride, and that is pretty much one of the only ones that's open that actually has funding. So I hope that is the eventual conclusion, but we'll have to see. It's going to suck not seeing him in Cup. Who knows? Maybe he gets a ride, but I think Matt will be missed if he doesn't get a ride for sure. I think he has enough talent in order to stay, but we'll have to see. But that is my short and sweet last thing.
Okay.
Your short, sweet rant.
I have to show a Tom Freeman comment. Now, the opinions expressed by Tom Freeman do not reflect the views of the Loose Lug Nuts, our podcast, or us individually. So, with that being said, I have to show this comment. Tom, good luck with all the hatred you're going to get. All I can say is you're lucky we're not very popular. If we were more popular, you would be unleashing a stream of hate, the likes of which you would normally have to wreck Chase Elliott to see. All I can say is you're lucky we're not very popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, you know what? If one day where this show suddenly becomes popular and gets like 1 million views an episode, you have fun with that.
Exactly.
But
anyway.
Big props to you, Tom, for staying with us to the end of the broadcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I did laugh when I read the comment.
And Adam and Mike and
and everybody else who stuck with us here.
Adam, Mike, Whitney. I think we had Cyber 12. I think Cyber 12 or something like that. Hey man, I appreciate tuning in.
Sav, he left after we talked crap about him.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sav.
Sit Down Mark's wrestling podcast too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Nice to see.
I didn't even get to acknowledge Cyber T12. I'm sorry, I didn't even get to acknowledge you. Thank you for your comment. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, here's a guy that said the 550 package.
Yeah. So, all right, it is time for us to wrap this thing up. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we will catch you guys next week where we will talk about Texas and all the things that I was right about.
And see if we actually stayed awake during the race.
All right. We are out of here. See you guys.
See you later, guys.